bell.
Okay, congratulations, Steve.
Yeah,
All right.
you passed your first test.
It's past 12:30 here.
All right. Meeting is officially started. So we are, please stand. What I'd like to do is welcome all of our fellow Rotarians and guests. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Pleasanton. This meeting is being recorded and will be available for viewing on our YouTube channel. How many people watch it on YouTube? Okay, good. A warm welcome to our visitors today. Thank you for being here. We hope you enjoyed today's meeting and come back again. If any visitors want to learn about becoming a member, please see me, Steve McCoy Thompson, or Ricky Walters. So what I'd like to do is thank our greeter today, Dave Clausen. I think he's done it back to back. Thank you, Dave. And I gave you a new badge today. So I also want to thank Dennis and Kathy and Ricky and Andrew for all they're doing. And so I did not do this. Who would like to do the pledge? Tom, will you lead us in the pledge, please? Be the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Tom. So now we're going to pause recording. Bill, would you like to do We Care for me? You're a careful guy.
Certainly. Who cares?
Can we sit down?
Who has a We Care?
Yeah, please be seated.
Please be seated.
Yeah.
Mr. Burke, we're going to work our way over to you.
I've been recording. Thank you. And next we have an inspiration from Greg Kirk. Is Greg here? I don't know if I've seen him. Oh, good. My first challenge. Who's going to do our inspiration other than finding the bell? Anybody would like to do a little inspiration? Oh, John, great. Thank you so much. Oh, you were. Oh, okay. Oh, you were. Oh, okay. You could have impressed us and not told us that, but is it the truth, right? Okay.
It's the truth. So many of you may know I was an instrumental music teacher for 20 years in the classroom. And so I go back to my roots in terms of inspiration to music. And one of the things that attracted me to this Rotary Club and keeps me coming back is our own club's focus on music and having that part of our meeting every single week with celebrations with Dawn and everything that we have. So I thought I'd bring in some quotes just to kind of wrap ourselves around what music means to us and to our soul. First, from Debasish Mridra, music has infinite power to reach the gap between the heart and the soul to create infinite and ineffable joy. Hans Christian Andersen says, where words fail, music speaks. Ludwig van Beethoven, one of my favorites, music is the mediator between the spiritual and the sensual life. Plato wrote, music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. And finally, from Modest Mouse, which is a rock group, music is to the soul what words are to the mind. And so for me, music brings me back. It fills my cup. And if any of you have ever had any kind of experience musically as a child growing up, find a way to bring music into your life every day. You'll find yourself much, much happier, much, much happier. And if you didn't do music as a child, I still think music ends up making you much, much happier as a human being.
Thanks for filling in, John.
I'd like to suggest we go ahead and do a song now to follow that. And we kind of sit.
Let's do it. Play some music.
Hello, Rotarians and guests. Today we're going to sing One Heart, One Club. Let's go to it.
One heart,
club, one club. Let's get together, do good, have fun. We do wheelchairs and the spirit run. Let's get together, do good, have fun. Rotary gives thanks and when the work is done, let's get together, do good, have fun. One heart, one club, one club. Let's get together, do good, have fun. Peace to service, a new day has come. Let's get together, do good, have fun. Mother, daughter, father, son. Let's get together, do good, have fun. One heart, one club, one club. Let's get together, do good, have fun. One heart, one club. Let's get together, do good, have fun.
Hi. Thank you. Next, I'd like to see if we have any visiting Rotarians. I know there's one sitting in front of me. Would someone please introduce our visiting Rotarian? Okay.
President, brand new President Steve, and fellow Rotarians and distinguished guests, I'd like to introduce somebody who needs no introduction, but always appreciates one and likes to tell you that. From, I can't remember what club? Thank you. From, that's okay. Yeah, at least 40 others. And what category? Let's welcome Bob Tutnod.
I made one observation today. Past President Gary wore a tie, and I never seen him wear a tie ever when he was president. I don't know if that's significant or not.
He told me he had a job interview today, so. Thank you, Bob, for your observation and for being here today. Next, I'd like to introduce any visiting guests, and I know I have a couple, and I think Steve McCoy Thompson, are you going to introduce them? And we'll also get to our Zoom people here, Zoom person in a second. I'll introduce them. I have Nancy and John Ubaldi, which are longtime friends of our family. John went to school and was friends with my youngest son, and Nancy's been friends for a long time. So please welcome them to our club today. And Julie, welcome.
Hello there, President.
Oh, Catalina Island, huh? You're on the beach?
That's where I am. Yes, I'm at the Isthmus of Catalina, also known as Two Harbors. And beautiful weather, nice breeze, cold ocean. But yeah, nice place to be.
Well, thanks for zooming in today, Julie. Okay, next, I'd like to ask Nancy Harrington to come up to talk about some of the WASH projects she's working on in her committee. So give it up for Nancy.
Great. Today, coming in, you saw, and on your tables, you also see the projects that we've completed. The ones on the table are the ones we've completed totally. That's 7 of them. And we've only been doing this since late 2021. And we're really proud of ourselves at what we've been able to accomplish, and think of all of the children's lives and the diseases that have been prevented by bringing water, sanitation, and good hygiene to these communities. We have 2 more coming up. The partner clubs are the Rotary Club of Umangasasi in Nigeria and the Rotary Clubs of Santa Cruz and San Juan West in the Philippines. The one in Nigeria is at the Rotary Club of Umangasi at Ukiah Community School, 350 students. The toilet facility was built in 2006 and is in poor condition. There is no water access. I don't know why they built a toilet facility if they don't have water, but I guess this is what the state did. There was no water access, and students have been observed defecating in the fields, creating conditions for infection and disease. The project involves constructing a borehole, which is a pump, installing water tanks, renovating and expanding the toilet facility, and providing hand washing and training in good hygiene. So originally, this project was only to renovate the toilet facility, but through discussion with the Rotarian Nagazi, we found out there was no water at the school. So our committee said we wouldn't commit to this project unless they brought in a pump for water. And so they had to come up with some additional funds, which they did. And we said we wouldn't drop them because it means the project is much more expensive. But we divided the project into two parts. And they have recruited the Rotaractor clubs of Umangasi Abi and Abia to assist them. So that total project will be $14,630, with them contributing almost $3,000, and our club will donate $11,704. So kind of divide that in half. We're going to do that over two projects. So anyone who wants to contribute to that one, we certainly would welcome any contributions. The second one is a club-to-club wash project in Sitio Pulo and Bay of Burkey, San Antonio, Philippines. And it's a partnership with Rotary Clubs of Santa Cruz and San Juan West. This Philippine chapter of Engineers Without Borders is also a partner. The project involves installing a solar pump with filtration system. The community's only water source is a spring across the river, and that water must be boiled to increase its purity and safety. The community has no electricity access, so installing a solar pump and filtration system will help 200 households, which includes 70 children. That total cost of this project is $9,189, with the Rotary Club of Santa Cruz providing $1,456 and the Rotary Club of San Juan West $1,000. So our part will be $6,733. Again, we would welcome any contributions to help out with this one. So we've been involved, as I said, in WASH project since May 2021. We've really made a huge difference in the lives of children and adults at the schools and the communities where these projects have taken place. Again, anyone wanting to donate to Club to Club WASH project can do so by writing a check to the Rotary Club of Pleasanton Foundation WASH project. I'm not sure whether you can do that online or not. I tried myself. Some people I'm sure have done that. I just want to make sure that it goes to our foundation and not international so that we can use that money. And so take a few minutes if you haven't already and look at the displays in each of the projects. Our club has partnered in Africa, and Bill told me that he would put that on Twitter, and I think Ricky is going to, no, Mark is going to put it on Facebook, these pictures. So anyone who would like a copy of that to have with you, let me know. I have some extra copies with me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, committee. Great work. So before we get into some other items, I just wanted to make sure, one of the things I want to work on this year is communicate upcoming events, not only with some of our sister clubs, but also with the district. So the Dublin Club is working on a school supplies drive to fill backpacks, and they're looking for items through July 28th. You can drop them off at the Mountain Mike's Pizza on San Ramon Road. They're looking for notebooks, earbuds, erasers, glue sticks, number 2 pencils, and you can get the picture of what they're looking for. Also, the Livermore Valley Club Chili Cook-Off, which I went to last year, was a lot of fun, is on October 7th, just to mark your calendars. And then district events on September 30th, the Avenues of Service at West Valley College. And for those of you that have not gone to that, it's a great event where you really get to dig in deep to what Rotary does and how they improve our communities. And then the district conference is going to be April 26th through 28th of next year at Hayes Mansion in San Jose. So now we're going to show an international video. Ricky has something ready for us, right, Ricky?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been here before. fighting the problems that fight back. But we can shift the status quo, because we see opportunities where others see obstacles. We're change makers and problem solvers, uniting over 1 million minds to address complex issues facing communities around the world, including yours. With passion and purpose, we've led the efforts to put an end to polio. Now eradication isn't just possible, it's plausible. Every day we're investing in a new generation of leaders so we can continue to provide access to clean water, tackle global health concerns, support education, and build the foundations of peace across borders. We're working together as partners and professionals while making friendships that last a lifetime. We're Rotary, and there's no limit to what we can do.
Thank you, Ricky. And just a reminder, if you're interested in adding to your donation to Rotary International, Mr. Tom Fox is right here. He'll be speaking in a little bit, and he can take your checks and make sure those get put in the right place. And most of you know that when you played for your dues this year, there was an opportunity to add an additional $25 for your Every Rotarian Every Year. And from what I understand, 99% of us did that. So we're very close to having every member contribute at least $25. So I'd love us to get to that goal this year. So if you have any questions about that, please see Mr. Fox. Thanks, Ricky. Now, next, I'd like to introduce our next Red Badge Talk. And Ahmad, I would try to pronounce your last name, but I know I probably really severely mess it up. So I'll let you tell us. He is the Assistant Superintendent of the Pleasanton Unified School District. Give it up for Ahmad.
Thank you, Steve. Well, you know, I've been up here a couple times, and some people know me and I've had a chance to talk, but others don't. So I've been asked to talk for 5 minutes. So you gotta keep step forward. Okay.
I'll take the mic.
Yeah. But you know, it's never comfortable to come and talk about yourself. It's not something, you know, we do naturally, and it's not something that, you know, that I do. But I thought about this. I've been asked, you know, to tell about yourself, your background information. But I always think, who am I? You know, and one of the things that comes to me is who I am really depends on, you know, what community, where you were born, where you were raised, you know, who your parents are, you know, and then where you grew up, you know, and a lot of times that's not in our control, you know, parents move you around and so on and so forth. So much of who we are is really not in our control. We're fortunate to be here. You could have been born in another country, in another community, in another religion, and so on and so forth. So reflecting on who we are is much deeper than just what we do, right? But what's shaped me personally is that, you know, I was born in Iran in 1972, so about, you know, 50 years ago. But I come from a family who I was fortunate enough who were in a very good situation. You know, they had a lot of education, a lot of opportunities. And for my grandfather, education was really critical. He always wanted to study abroad and he was unable to. And so he made sure that my dad and others had that opportunity. My dad went to school in Iran and studied law and became a judge, but all his other 6 brothers actually studied abroad, Germany, and many of them in the United States. And that's, I think, the pull that pulled our family to the United States was my dad had a lot of siblings here. And as a family of 5, and I was the last one, my dad was, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to send all my kids one by one overseas to study. So he decided back in 1976, before the revolution, to immigrate his family. And he had been a judge for about 25 years in Iran, and he thought, well, I'll be able to retire. And from at that time, the exchange rate was good. I don't know, some of you may know, but in 1970s, Iran had more foreign exchange students abroad than any country in the world. So you went to any university in America, you know, there was an Iranian at that school, because that was a big push at the time the Shah had in terms of modernization. So we came to the United States because my brother was already studying at Cal Poly at that time. And so we settled in San Luis Obispo. I started going to elementary school. I still remember Schimsheimer School over there. And that was, you know, we got exposed to American culture back in the 70s in San Luis Obispo. So you can kind of imagine that very rural type of college town that it was. And then once my brother graduated, he said, I didn't come all the way to America to raise my family in a really small town. So we moved to the Bay Area where more of his siblings were. And I got the opportunity to get raised actually in Los Gatos, because it went back to my dad's core belief that you got to live in a good community with good schools, because you guys got to go to and have a great education. And he was able to fulfill that dream. You know, my brother is an engineer. I studied engineering both at UC Davis and UC Berkeley. My sister became a doctor by going to school at Philadelphia Hahnemann at that time. And my brother became a dentist by going to USC. So that drive of education and really getting some was core to who I became. Another key component was you know, my faith. You know, we were religious and we learned about religion. But I got an opportunity to grow up in a multi-religious community and attend church with my Christian friends, and have Jewish friends, and have friends who didn't practice. And so that gave me a sense of, you know, people have different religions and different beliefs, but at the core, we're all the same. We're going in the same place. We want to do good, you know, we're Rotary. And so there's more in common than we have in differences. And so that became a core part of who I am, and the way I try to be throughout my life, is to really, you know, we're all the same. We're all here to try to, you know, to do good, hopefully. In terms of some of the other things about myself, after graduating from UC Davis, I got married. I actually went back to Iran, and it was the first time that I had been back. And the reason was, unfortunately, there was a long war after the revolution, and it was not a good situation. But after the war had ended, I was able to visit the first time. I went there and I met some people and got introduced, and that's where I was able to find the love of my life and get married. And through a very lucky and complicated way, she was able to get to the United States. It's not easy to even, you know, even if you're a citizen, to bring your spouse over. It's somewhat complicated. But anyways, 2 daughters, 25, UC Santa Cruz graduate, starting UC Berkeley this fall, studying city and regional planning. So we're really excited about that. And my younger daughter's attending UC Davis, studying environmental science. In terms of my professional career, after graduating Berkeley, worked for several government agencies, sanitation district in LA and a water district in Marin. And then I was able to work about 5 years in the private industry in construction management, overseeing actually school construction projects. And that was the way I got involved in schools, and was hired by the Menlo Park City School District to manage their bond program. One thing led to another. I was able to work my way up and become their chief business officer. And after 13 years with them, you know, my wife wanted to keep getting back to Berkeley because she also went to school there. And so we got our way back to the East Bay. And then I was really fortunate to have the opening in Pleasanton, which I've been serving since 2019 now. And it's been a pretty busy ride. We got a lot of exciting things going on with the bond program, the facilities, the district office need, the district office property. And then we've asked some of you to help us in those endeavors. So that's a little bit about me. I'd be happy to answer any questions if anyone has them.
Very good. Thank you so much, Iman. You're only 2 minutes over. Yeah. So I'd also like to make mention that Ahmad just joined our foundation board. And he's already committed to being the future treasurer, right, Ahmad? Didn't you tell me that? All right. Yeah, I had to take that opportunity, so. Amazing, so now this moves to the most exciting part of the day, the club assembly program. And I want to thank you all for being here, hopefully I won't bore you to death. I don't have too much to say, but I have some really awesome leaders that have stepped up to help our club move even further along and provide more positive things in our community, so. Let's start. So again, I'm very honored to serve as your 2023-24 club president as we work together to create hope in the world and our community. That is the slogan of our new president. And he was fabulous when I saw him in Melbourne back in May. So anyway, moving along, our motto, as everybody knows, that there's, I guess, a controversy who came up with this, but do good and have fun has been part of our club for many years. But what does it really mean for each of us? For me, it means being engaged with our club, attending our meetings, being involved with at least one committee, at least one, 2, 3, or 4 are fine, and being sure you're having fun in the process. You got to have fun, otherwise it's like work, right? I am very fortunate to have an amazing group of dedicated Rotarians serving as our committee chairs this year on our board of directors. You will hear from some of them shortly. The message I'd like to send to all of you that aren't already on a committee is to get involved. Please let me or the committee chairs, once you hear from them, you go, wow, that sounds really cool. Know you're interested in helping them following the meeting today, as I mentioned, after the meeting. My role as your president is to support all of you as we work toward the common goal of making positive impact in our community through scholarships, community grants, providing wheelchairs to less fortunate folks in other countries, and partner with other Rotary clubs in Africa, as we just heard from Nancy, and other nations to provide clean water, sanitation, and hygiene. And I'm sure there's some other projects that will come up this year that are brand new that we never even thought about. So I'm looking forward to helping all of us achieve that goal. Along with this, I have a special interest in engaging our future young leaders, our interactors. Rena's in the back, she's here, good. And I really want to work closer with them and Rena and her committee to get them more involved in our club, if that's possible. I know they go to school every day, so it's hard for them to come to our lunch meetings, but let's utilize their special talents and engage them more in our club. So that is definitely a top priority for me. And I also wanted to share with you a quote that Gordon McNally gave us at the International Convention while I was in Melbourne, Australia. He's basically set up 4 focus areas for the International Rotary Club. One area that he talked about made a big impression on me. He said, even though we continue to face new and serious challenges, Rotary takes care of its members and those that we serve, works to build lasting peace, and embeds belonging and inclusion in everything we do. Let's continue to build on the international projects we already have in place, work to build our membership, and be sure we are inclusive of our community we live in. And most importantly, take care of our members so they are supported in all that they do for our club, and also if they need a helping hand. So now I'd like to move to the committee chair reports. They have some real exceptional and aspirational goals that they'd like to talk about. So let me introduce, I'm just going random here. So the first person, which I just mentioned, my focus area, is Rena Gupta, Youth Services Committee Chair. Come on up, Rena. Give it up for Rena.
Thank you, Steve. And I was so happy to hear that this is your focus for this year. So I'm super excited. Just if someone who's not familiar with the programs at Rotary, we work with Interact Club, which is the high school Rotary Club. We have not done much with the Rotaract Club, which is one of my goals for this year, hopefully with Steve's help. And that's Steve help too. I'm going to drag you in. So, we, last year, should I just say what we have done last year or just?
More about the future.
More about the future. So most of the things that we have done last year when we became part of the youth committee is just continue with what's happening. We did not do anything new as such. So this year, now that we understand how to run the regular programs, we will continue with those things, speech contest, trial, leadership, everything. But a few things that we want to add is outreach to the Rotaract Club, which I believe is Las Positas for us. We are also going to complete our youth protection officer training, which I had no clue what it is, but one of our committee members, so we have we are a group of 3 people in the committee who have divided our tasks so that we can divide and rule. So we are going to have Pinky, who is one of our youth committee members, going to take that training. We are also going to do our best to include the interactors to work with other committees here. So if your committee needs any help, let us know. We want youth to understand, like if it is other than the poker club, did not get a good response with the poker. So especially with the wash club, we would love to get some more students involved with wash club and other things as well. We tried getting some help from them on the social media and all. It didn't work out. Hopefully with the new team, we might be able to. We are requested to perform other duties as requested by the president, which I don't know what it is. So I'm not going to. So, yeah, and that's kind of pretty much all it. And there are a couple of things which is not in the list, which I would love to run by all of you, is we like to get some more additional programs to do, say fundraise. There's a request from Donlan School for raising some fund for donating dictionary to 3rd graders. I didn't know it can be done. And also there will be some random fundraising projects and some random shows and events that we want to include and bring the youth to be more aware to do good and have fun.
Great. Thank you, Rena. Rena, you'll be pleased to hear that in our district, or our clubs in the 4B district, and we just had a meeting a couple days ago, and the Livermore Valley Rotary Club is already starting the Rotaract discussion with Las Positas. And so I told her I'm going to connect you. So once she gets somewhere, so that's moving forward, which is really exciting. So next is Brad Hurst, Programs Committee. Give it up for Brad. Brad, I'm not going to give you the mic because you took my bell. So.
Yeah, I did not take the bell.
I honestly, you were just hiding it. Okay.
Give me the mic. President Steve, thank you. My role is to do what Steve tells me. And everybody knows that I always follow directions. Okay, for program, we're going to try this year to have programs that directly impact your lives. We're going to have the president of a community bank. We're going to have the president of Las Positas College, particularly talk about his 4 new vocational facilities. We're going to have the CFO of a startup company. We're going to have the vice president of Lucid Motors. And we're going to have a program from Chevron on the 3 classes of motor fuel: gasoline, electricity, and hydrogen. And if you will be sure and note, November 9, we're going to have a very special speaker for Veterans Day, a highly decorated military hero who lives in Pleasanton. We'll also have a program on human trafficking. Last year, we were fortunate to initiate a number of red badge speakers. We're going to have a red badge speaker each program until all of those are completed. That's what Steve told me to do.
Thank you, Brad. Brad doesn't always do what I ask him to do, but he does get stuff done, so that's important. Next, I'd like to introduce, and I think you all know, Steve McCoy Thompson, our membership committee chair. Steve, come on up. We're so happy to have you back.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long haul with COVID in and out of my system. So I'm free. Good. I'm good. So good to see you all. I'm the head of the membership committee, really joined at the hip with Ricky. And as you know, membership is really the lifeblood of Rotary. Without members, we can't do what we do. And so I want you all to feel part of this program, that when you go out and recommend Rotary to friends and bring them in, we all benefit. It allows us to do more work. So I ask you and want to enable you to go out and make those asks and feel good about bringing people into our club and getting to know us. When I stood up here last year, we talked about membership, and I had said that the prior year we had 10 new members. And we said, well, how many more members do we want to shoot for our goal, right? And I think Bill Wheeler said 100. And I asked him, how many are you going to bring in? And he didn't say anything. Yeah, it's incredible. So we settled on 12 as our goal. And this year, I'm proud to say that we got 20 new members. So, and I just want to thank Ricky for really being the point person for meeting with all these prospective new members and making them feel at home. So we want to set a new goal, a realistic goal. And when I'm leading teams, I always like to set an achievable goal and then blow through it. So, but I want you all to feel part of that. So Ricky and I had a discussion, and one number we've thrown out is 15 new members for this year. And we have like what, 3 or 4 already in the pipeline?
We have about 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Expressed interest in joining our club already,
Right.
so could be a third one there if they all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm planning to work with you for the year to really reach out to new business owners. I find that when people come into Pleasanton and set up business, they want to network, and there's no better place for them to network than with Rotary. So we want to develop a campaign for that. So I want to put it out to you. Does that sound like a reasonable goal?
Is that a net 15?
Yeah, that's gross. Not net. But Ricky's gonna come up, we're gonna talk about retention. Because that's another priority that we have. And we want to, I think we can do a better job of working, Ricky's gonna talk about working with our Red Badge members and making them feel really part of this. And reaching out to members who have not been able to join our meetings, like me, because I was sick, but to reach out to them, make sure that they feel welcome. So the goal, I think, is 15 new members, and then we're going to talk about doing a better job of retention. Okay. Yeah. Who's? Yeah. What happened to them? No, I love it. I love it. So, thank you, Rena. Let's talk. Say, Rena, if that will help you bring in a new member, I will bring a bottle of wine for you.
And Rena's been very helpful in that regard. Thank you, Rena. So
actually, Rena's got 2 of the 5 that I'm thinking of that she's already invited, so she's doing her part. I just want to quickly say before I talk about retention, it's not that hard to add new members. I just people ask me sometimes, how do you do what you do? And I wear my Rotary pin all over the place, and people ask you, what is that? And you have an opportunity to tell them about Rotary. Simple things like that. And I just am quick to share the good experiences, the do good, the have fun that we have. So moving on to retention, I've been to several membership trainings through the district and Rotary International, and it's proven that if people don't get involved the first year, we have high attrition rates, and I think that's obvious. So one of the things that we want to do for the 20 people that joined this past year, the Red Badgers, like John back there, and like Ahmad, who's not wearing his red badge, but I know he has one. So we have set aside the 5th Thursday when there is one. It happens about once every quarter, and the next 5th Thursday coming up is August 31st, 1st, excuse me. So at the last day of August, I'm gonna host a little gathering social event at my house, back patio, barbecue. And everyone's invited because it's a 5th Thursday social, but the focus is gonna be our red badgers, getting you guys and gals moved along from red to blue. I think that's been a little weak area as I've assessed where we are with membership. So I would love any of you to come. Dave certainly wants you to come, all, and yeah, back there too, Richard. So I've got a bunch of red badgers here that I want you all to come. We're gonna have just a social fun party, have fun time, and everybody's invited. And I hope you can come to that and help us move our red badges from red to blue.
Ricky, we're
So-
serving margaritas too.
I didn't know that, but okay. Are you bringing them?
I'm bringing.
Okay, there you go. See, that's how people help out. So, yes,
Will your neighbor be installing in the backyard?
I'll talk to him. Any questions for membership before we get out of here?
Thank you very much. And just want, you are part of this. You are membership, you create membership. We have tools, we have a fillable PDF form that you can easily share with friends. Let us know how we can help you bring in new members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve and Ricky. Awesome. Okay. We gotta speed things along. We're running out of time. So next I have Jake's gonna talk about community service, and give it up for Jake. He's gonna tell us about what he's got planned. So some speakers say, before I get started well, that is getting started actually. But I do have a short story. When I was small, my pediatrician, Dr. Gus, was a scary guy because you could hear him coming down the hall to the examining room. And it turns out that he had a brace on his leg, and he was a polio survivor. So in his honor, I made a $100 donation to the International, attributed to this club, which is 100% matched by my company. So I just want to say this as a starting point. Okay, so community service. I'm not going to go through the slides, Ricky, because 30 slides, is just too much for this group. But community service was one of the main reasons I joined this organization. Community service to me means helping people in the local area through events and through fundraising. And so it's been a goal of mine, and it is something that I want to be a part of. This is an activity where it's not just me doing community service, it's the club. So it's about everybody that's here, and maybe more importantly, the people who are not actually here today. So I want to reach out to everybody to contact them and let them know how they can contribute. I do have a plan. President Steve has seen it. My thinking is we designate one activity per quarter as sort of a keystone event for this club, and recruit at least 15 people, ideally 20, to participate in that, and publicize that. I've spoken with Darcy at Pleasanton North. We'll pool our resources where that makes sense. For an example, I attended the Kids for Hunger event last fall. They did the same, but separately. We could have a very impactful, activity with that organization. But that's the idea. Now, there are plenty of activities to participate in. Ricky, let's go forward to a couple slides here to the eye chart. I have a list here of, keep going, of potential activities. And this is the partial list because I don't know of all of them. But my request short term is please give me feedback either today or in the next couple of days about one of these activities that you think we should make a prime event for our club. I want to hear about all of them, or we need to pick a few. What I don't want to do is that I don't want to send out an email to everybody every week about here's another activity, here's another activity, here's another activity. That's great to do, but I want to kind of like parcel those up and identify some key events And then on a regular, maybe monthly, let people know what are the other opportunities that are available. So we'll do that. Back up one. So I've got, in this first column here, I picked Goodness Village, Kids Against Hunger, military families, something around veterans, and potentially one warm coat. These are ideas of mine as potential keystone events, but you can see there's a long list here. I just added this one today at Randy's recommendation. So that's the idea. Last thing is, if you go to the last slide, there's a picture of 4 different chairs here. So my thinking is a committee of 4 people. I'm one. Richard has graciously volunteered to be a second committee member. I'd like to have 2 more, possibly one from Rotaract. That would be cool. And each of these 4 would chair one of these 4 events, run the event to assist me with that. So please give me any feedback in the next couple of days, and I'll come back to you with the details, and we'll get started. Great, awesome, Jake. Thank you. Very cool. Yeah, Jake's the only one that sent me a PowerPoint, by the way, so good job. Yeah, oh, I did? Okay. I don't remember saying that, but anyway, I know we're running out of time here, so quickly, Mr. Tom Fox is going to talk about international service. Tom, all yours.
Thank you. One thing, just before I get started with that, I think we need a newsletter again. You know, we have a lot of ideas, a lot of things we want to do. Randy is shaking his head no, but I think, just bear with me for a little bit, Randy, okay? Look at our attendance here today. We have what, 70 members, 75 members? And today we have 30 here.
36, about half.
And 1 on Zoom. If we had the other 30 on Zoom, that would be great, but we don't. So I really think that we need a newsletter. It's not an easy thing to do, to find somebody to do that. But I remember when we had a good newsletter, and a lot of the clubs that I visit have newsletters that come out every week. And it's really good to get all those people involved that can't always be at a meeting. And it used to be that the requirement was that you be at 3 out of 4 meetings held by the club. Now we're talking about what, 2 per quarter? So that's giving people an out, and it also gets them so they don't know what's going on all the time. And I really think that newsletter is the way to go. Anyway, okay, back. What was I supposed to talk about? Yeah, I know you're running out of time. International. You know, we've seen a lot of information on the WASH project, on wheelchairs, different donations that we make to RI. And also I'm very involved with the Rotoplast. And a big part of this is getting to know other Rotarians at other clubs around the world. We partner with other clubs, and that's a great way to learn about other countries and other people on an individual basis. Right now, our country is so divided politically that's really causing a problem, because everybody's so polarized on one side or the other. We need something to get back into the middle, and getting to know people on a one-to-one basis, I think is going to help that situation. Thank you.
Tom for president. Okay. Thank you, Tom. Did you say you were going to do the newsletter? Is that what we, oh, I thought that's what I heard.
Electronically.
Yeah, all right. You could do stick figures. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So moving along, Mark Tanis could not be here. He's our Public Image Committee chair, but he did want me to tell you he's going to continue doing the fabulous job he's been doing on our website, which I think our website's awesome, and other things that he's doing, which I won't go into detail. Other than a major thing that's happening is we're moving from Google Docs to Office 365. So all of our documentation will be on that system, which will allow us to continue to support the Boy Scouts, which there was an issue with some of that space. So we'll have 10 accounts for folks to put stuff on, and there'll be more information about that. And I know he's met with you, Bill and Kathy, and you guys are pretty supportive of that, so that's great. But I'm just gonna move right along. We have a Julio doing our club service. Julio, is there anything you want to speak about? I've asked Julio to try to recruit people to help tear down and set up, because recently it's been the same people every meeting. So Julio?
Yeah, so what I do is what you experience every week when you come here for the lunch meeting. So when you arrive, you meet a greeter, and then you go through the attendance. And then there is of course, the speaker, which
Program.
yeah, so the inspiration. And then also, just similarly, Kathy arranges for a treasurer to take the money and then do the recording for the finances. So it is a simple job, but it's not easy because a lot of us are busy. And sometimes they need to be rotated. Well, actually, the program rotates everybody in the club, throughout the year, so that it's not just done by a few people. So I think in general, we have now 80 somewhat members. So all of us get to do 3 things, whether or not it's a greeter, is a inspiration, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, and generally 3 times a month. So when this works, it really creates the family network, so that you get to know each other, particularly between the new members and the older members. And they need, I think we're still, we're getting a little bit better, are not good enough in terms of all the new members getting to know everybody well enough and soon enough. So I think we all need to reach out, both sides. I think the more active new members become, the more productive and effective they will be for our club, for what we want to do. So thank you, and appreciate your continued support.
Dennis has a question.
They can let us know, so we can not have to do double or triple work. Yeah, so the rotation is meant to spread the work over the year, instead of in the past we actually focused on a few people to do those tasks, which is even more difficult. So I think the idea is that we spread the work among all members, and I think we all really should make a point supporting this club effort, so that we actually serve these functions a few times a year.
Great. Okay, thank you, Julio. Julio does an awesome job, and I think what Dennis may be talking about is, if you can't make a week that you're scheduled, switch with somebody else, and just take it upon yourself instead of putting it back on Julio's back, because he does already a lot of work. So thank you, Julio. And I saved, I guess, the best for last, Mike Osterman, Club Fun. We're up for Mike.
As usual.
Yeah, you don't have any time, but
I'm the guy that gets 30 seconds. But we'll hopefully have more than 30 seconds worth of fun this year. So this is the motto that we have over here. Create hope in the world. My motto is create fun in Rotary. So I figure, I mean, we have to have fun. We do a lot of good stuff, and but we have to have fun. So my goal is to make Rotary fun this year. And some people say I laugh too much and I smile too much. Tony Chen used to say, all you ever do is want to have fun. I said, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to have fun. Girls don't just want to have fun. I also want to have fun. So if you want to have fun, you can be on the committee and we can have fun together. Sometimes when we have committee meetings in my conference room, those are fun events in themselves, So just to give you a little bit of an idea of what's gonna be going on, in the next, let's say, 5 months, maybe 5 months. So next Thursday, we have a third Thirsty Thursday at Sabio. We're in the process of scheduling a progressive dinner in October. Joyce and Bob Shapiro are working on that. The theme is gonna be Oktoberfest. I figure, Gary can dress up and yodel for us.
I'm not.
And that is, I'm sorry, Randy, I forgot about you. That is tentatively scheduled for October 14th. We have something else going in October too, don't we? Don't we have Spirit Run? And, yeah, so we didn't want to put it like the Saturday before Spirit Run. So, oh, it is? I thought it was the 29th. Okay. Hey, you're taking my time. So we'll sort that out. We'll sort that out. But we're gonna have a progressive dinner. Randy suggested that we have bigger groups. Instead of having 2 or 4 people at your house, you'd have 8 or 10. Am I right?
No, there's four couples, which were 8 people.
Yeah, not couples, not 8 couples, 8 people, 8 to 10 people. Yeah.
Mike, you're not in the math.
I figure if we have, maybe just have one house and have everybody go to that house. That would probably be would that be a big enough group?
Yeah, I just started to put rooms in.
So continuing along with my little travel log here, holiday party, Thursday, December 14th at Steve's house, Steve and your wife's house. Your wife's name is Lori, Steve and Lori's house in Dublin. So, yeah, so everybody should come to that. Those are a lot of fun. Now, the other things that we're thinking about doing, although it's very tentative, bocce ball in the spring, Rotary Day at the races, maybe an event at Firehouse Art Center, an event at Bankhead, wine tasting event, and maybe a whiskey tasting. Those are all things we've done in the past. So, I think it's good if you drink, it's, you got a lot of events you can go to. If you don't drink as much, then we'll find some event for you.
All right, Mr. Fun, Mike Musselman. Okay, cool. I just want to also acknowledge the other board members that are here. I told them they could speak, but maybe Bill Evans may want to say something, but we of course have Andrew Evans, who's in charge of our Spirit Run. Andrew, thank you. And I know you have a meeting coming up, right? Is that what you wanted to announce? Yeah.
With the committee chair heads, we'll be discussing the reports and then seeing where we can go from there.
Awesome, great. And then Bill Evans is our foundation president this year. Bill, did you want to say a few things?
Yeah.
Okay. It's all yours. So thank you, Rotarians. We have a committee of 10 people this year that will be on the foundation. About half the committee is new. I'm gonna announce their names in alphabetical order. Ahmad Sheikhelsami, myself, Clark Pan, Dick Stafford, Gary Schwegerly, Julio Leung, Kathy Alameda, Nancy Harrington, Pete McDonald, and Tom Fox. So together, that is your foundation board. What we do is we're the stewards of the money of this 501c3. We have about $750,000 in investments through Eric Martin's firm that we'll do a breakdown of that with the club later on this year. And then we have a bunch of checking accounts for our various subcommittees like wheelchairs and scholarships and WASH and what else? And community grants. And then we have an operating account, things like that. There's a couple $100,000 in those various accounts. The foundation has hired Audrey Horning, CPA, as, did I say something wrong? Oh, as our bookkeeper slash accountant, if you will. She will be
reconciling all the different bank accounts and preparing the financial statements that will go to the foundation. And then our new treasurer, Ahmad, will be presenting those reports to the rest of the foundation. Thank you. We're still in negotiation about this. So anyway, what we do is really exciting. We have 4 committees on the foundation, and that is scholarship, community grants, wheelchairs, and WASH. So each one of those committees has a chair and they kind of run their thing. So for example, Kathy and Dick and I, we work on the community grants committee. When all the applications for community grants come in, we evaluate those applications, we make a recommendation on a spreadsheet, and then we submit that to the foundation board for their approval or change or whatever they want to do to it, and that's how it happens. So I'm looking forward to being the president of the foundation. And if you guys have any questions about that, please reach out to me.
Great. We're lucky to have you, Bill. Thank you. And then I know some of you may have to go, but I've got just a couple more things. Jim Hansen, of course, is our president-elect. Give it up for Jim. I understand he did a great job last week. I'll be calling on him in the future. And then, of course, our past president, Gary Schwagerly. He's also on our board. So there you go. And in closing, I just had a couple more comments here. I want to thank Nancy and John for coming today. I hope you come back. Will you come back? Did you have fun? Yeah, okay, good, all right. And then I think it's time to adjourn the meeting. Well, we have, I'm sorry, an opportunity drawing. Woo! Most important part. I know I forgot something. Anybody, what's that? Sit down, we're doing opportunity drawing, yes.